In a small aging house at the edge of the town lived Evelyn Carter, a woman whose life had been stitched together with sacrifice. The walls of the house were cracked, the paint was fading, but every corner carried memories of laughter, struggle, prayers, and silent tears. Evelyn was a widow. Her husband had died years ago, leaving her with one son, Daniel Carter, who became her entire world. She worked day and night, cleaned other people's homes, stitched clothes till her fingers bled, and skipped meals so her son could eat. She never complained, she only prayed, "Let my son live a better life than mine." She used to whisper at night, and God listened. Daniel grew up educated, confident, and ambitious. He got a good job in the city and eventually married Sophia, a beautiful, soft-spoken woman from a modern family. The wedding was grand, music played, guests laughed, pictures were taken, but no one noticed Evelyn standing quietly in a corner, smiling with moist eyes, feeling like a guest in her own son's happiness. The silent, daughter-in-law Sophia was not rude, she was not cruel, she was silent. She greeted Evelyn politely but never warmly. She spoke respectfully, but never lovingly. After marriage, Daniel brought Sophia to live in the same house with his mother. Evelyn was happy. She cleaned the room herself. She cooked Sophia's favorite dishes. She waited every morning to hear her voice, but Sophia stayed distant. No hugs, no shared laughter, no conversations, only silence. At the dining table, Evelyn would try to speak. "Sophia, do you like the food?" Sophia would nod. "Yes." That was all. Evelyn would smile, hiding the pain in her chest. A mother-in-law's small expectations. Evelyn never wanted control. She never wanted authority. She only wanted belonging. Sometimes she would sit in the kitchen, watching Sophia make tea, hoping she'd say, "Mom, sit, I'll make it." But Sophia never did. Not because she hated Evelyn, but because she never learned how to love her. Daniel was busy with work. He didn't notice the growing silence. And Evelyn, she noticed everything. The way Sophia avoided eye contact. The way her footsteps slowed when Evelyn was near. The way her smile disappeared when Daniel wasn't around. At night, Evelyn would cry quietly into her pillow. "Maybe I'm a burden now," she thought. The first crack one evening, Evelyn fell sick. High fever, weak body, trembling hands. Daniel was out of town. Sophia noticed but said nothing. Evelyn struggled to get up, tried to make herself some soup, but fainted near the kitchen door. The sound startled Sophia. She rushed out and helped her to bed, but there was no warmth in her eyes, only responsibility. She called a doctor, she gave medicine, but she never held Evelyn's hand. Evelyn looked at the ceiling, tears rolling down the sides of her face. "Even in sickness, I am alone," she whispered. Daniel's blindness. When Daniel returned, Evelyn didn't complain. She smiled. "I'm fine," she said. Sophia said nothing. Silence became normal. Daniel believed everything was perfect, but silence can be louder than words. The unspoken pain. One morning, Evelyn overheard Sophia talking on the phone. "It's hard living with her. I feel suffocated." Those words pierced Evelyn's heart like knives. She didn't confront, she didn't cry loudly. She simply went back to her room and packed her old clothes into a small bag. That night, she cooked dinner for the last time. Daniel noticed something strange. "Mom, why so quiet today?" Evelyn smiled. "I've always been quiet, son." A mother walks away. The next morning, Daniel woke up and found Evelyn's room empty. No note. No goodbye. Only her old shawl folded neatly on the bed. Panic spread through his chest. "Sophia, where's Mom?" Sophia froze. "I don't know." Daniel searched everywhere. Finally, he found her at a small old-age shelter on the outskirts of the city. Evelyn sat alone, staring at the window. When Daniel entered, she didn't turn. "Mom, why did you leave?" Her voice trembled when she replied, "Because silence hurts more than hatred." Daniel broke down. The realization. Sophia arrived later. For the first time, she saw Evelyn not as a responsibility but as a broken mother. Evelyn looked at Sophia with tired eyes. "I never wanted love," she said softly. "Only respect, and a place in my son's life." Sophia's eyes filled with tears. But some realizations come too late. Evelyn stayed at the shelter. Daniel visited daily. Sophia stood outside the gate many times, unable to enter. Silence had already spoken. And Evelyn's pain had already chosen its home. The old-age shelter was quiet, not the peaceful kind of quiet, but the kind that presses against the chest and makes breathing feel heavy. Evelyn Carter sat near the window every afternoon, watching birds land and fly away. She liked birds. They came, they rested, and they left without hurting anyone. Unlike humans, Daniel visited every day after work. He brought fruit, medicines, warm blankets, everything except the one thing his mother needed most: time. And understanding a son's guilt. Daniel sat beside her one evening, his voice shaking. "Mom, why didn't you tell me you were hurting?" Evelyn didn't look at him. She kept staring at the sky, slowly turning orange. "When pain is ignored once," she said softly, "it learns to stay silent forever." Daniel's eyes filled with tears. He remembered his childhood, how his mother waited late into the night for him, how she sold her jewelry to pay his fees, how she slept hungry so he could eat, and now He had been too busy to notice her loneliness. I failed you, he whispered. Evelyn finally turned her face toward him. No, my son, she said gently. You only grew up. I stayed behind. Sophia outside the gate. Sophia came too, but she never entered. She stood outside the iron gate, holding a small food container, her hands trembling. Every time she tried to step forward, something held her back. Fear, shame, guilt. Inside the shelter, she could see Evelyn sometimes, sitting alone, not crying, complaining, just existing. Sophia's heart felt heavy. Why didn't I speak? Why didn't I call her mom even once? Questions haunted her at night. Silence, once her comfort, had now become her punishment. The caretaker's words one day. An elderly caretaker approached Sophia. You are her daughter-in-law, right? Sophia nodded. The woman sighed. She doesn't ask for much. She eats less than others, sleeps less too, but she prays every night. Sophia swallowed hard. What does she pray for? The caretaker looked at her carefully. She prays that her son stays happy, even if she isn't part of that happiness. Those words shattered something inside Sophia, a memory that hurt that night. Sophia couldn't sleep. She remembered the early days after marriage, Evelyn waking early to make breakfast, Evelyn waiting with tea, Evelyn smiling, always smiling, and she remembered herself, avoiding conversations, ignoring emotions, choosing silence instead of kindness. She thought silence was safe. She was wrong. Silence had wounded a heart that was already tired. The first step toward truth. The next morning, Sophia entered the shelter. Her footsteps echoed in the hallway. Evelyn looked up, surprised. Sophia stood in front of her, hands shaking, eyes wet. I don't know how to speak, she said quietly. I stayed silent because I was afraid of getting close. Evelyn listened. For the first time, Sophia continued, her voice breaking. I didn't hate you. I just didn't know how to love someone who gave me everything without asking. Tears rolled down her cheeks. I'm sorry. Evelyn closed her eyes. A tear slipped from the corner of her eye, but she didn't respond. Not yet. Some wounds need time, even for forgiveness. A mother's weakening body. Days passed. Evelyn's health slowly declined. She grew thinner. Her steps became slower, her smile weaker. Doctors said stress had weakened her heart. Daniel felt panic growing inside him. Please come home, Mom, he begged. Evelyn shook her head gently. I feel lighter here, she said. No expectations, no silence. Those words crushed Sophia. She realized then home is not walls. Home is where someone feels seen. One evening, Evelyn held Sophia's hand for the first time. Her grip was weak, but warm. Sophia looked at her with hope. Evelyn whispered, silence can break a heart, but patience can still heal it. Sophia cried, not loudly but deeply, because she knew healing might come, or it might come too late. The shelter room smelled of medicine and old memories. Evelyn Carter lay on the narrow bed, her breathing uneven, her hands trembling slightly. The woman who once carried the weight of an entire family now struggled to lift a glass of water. Her body was giving up, but her heart was still holding on. The sudden collapse had happened in the early morning. Evelyn tried to stand up for prayer, as she did every day, but her legs failed her. She collapsed to the floor. The sound echoed through the hallway. Caretakers rushed in. An ambulance was called. As they lifted her onto the stretcher, Evelyn whispered only one name, Daniel. A son runs out of time. Daniel was in the office when the call came. Your mother has been admitted to the hospital. Her condition is critical. The phone slipped from his hand. His world stopped. He ran. Traffic felt cruel. Time felt merciless. When he reached the hospital, Sophia was already there, pale, shaking, terrified. Daniel grabbed her arm. Why didn't I bring her home sooner? He cried. Sophia had no answer, only tears. The hospital room machines beeped softly. Evelyn lay unconscious, oxygen mask on her face. Daniel held her hand tightly. I'm here, Mom. Please open your eyes, he begged out. Sophia stood a few steps behind, guilt burning inside her chest. She remembered Evelyn's words. I never wanted love, only a place. As she realized she had taken that place away. A daughter-in-law breaks her silence. Sophia slowly stepped forward. She knelt beside the bed. Her voice trembled. Mom, please forgive me. She had never called her mom before. The word felt heavy and sacred. I thought silence would protect me. I didn't know it would destroy you. Tears dropped onto the bedsheet. I was wrong. Please, give me one chance. Daniel watched, broken. For the first time, Sophia wasn't silent. She was honest. A weak awakening. Evelyn's fingers moved slightly. Her eyes opened barely. She looked at Daniel, then at Sophia. Sophia leaned closer. I'm here, she whispered. I won't be silent anymore. Evelyn's lips trembled. With great effort, she whispered, pain teaches what comfort never does. A tear slid down her cheek. Daniel cried uncontrollably. The doctor's truth outside the room. The doctor spoke quietly. Her heart is very weak. Emotional stress has taken a serious toll. We'll do our best, but prepare yourselves. Sophia felt dizzy. She leaned against the wall. Daniel covered his face with his hands. Regret filled the hallway. A night of confessions that night. Sophia didn't leave the hospital. She wiped Evelyn's forehead, adjusted her blanket, held her hand. She spoke softly all night. About fear, about distance, about mistakes. Evelyn listened even when her eyes were closed. Sometimes, healing begins not with recovery, but with being heard. Just before dawn, Evelyn whispered, "Don't blame yourself too much. Silence is often born from fear, not cruelty." Sophia broke down. She rested her head near Evelyn's hand and cried silently, because she knew even if forgiveness had arrived, time might not wait. The hospital room was dim. Only one light was on, soft and weak, like Evelyn Carter's heartbeat. Outside, the world was waking up. Inside, the family was holding its breath. A mother's final clarity. Evelyn opened her eyes slowly. Daniel was asleep in the chair, his head resting against the wall, his face swollen from crying. Sophia sat beside the bed, awake all night, holding Evelyn's hand, afraid that if she let go, she might lose her forever. Evelyn looked at her, truly looked at her, and for the first time, she smiled. A small, tired smile, but real. "Sophia," she whispered. Sophia leaned closer, tears already falling. "Yes, Mom." That single word changed everything. Evelyn's fingers tightened weakly around her hand. "I waited a long time to hear that." Sophia broke down. "I was scared," she cried softly. "I didn't know how to replace your place in his life, so I tried to avoid it. I didn't know love could be shared." Evelyn closed her eyes. "Love grows when it's shared," she murmured. A son's apology. Daniel woke up suddenly. He saw his mother awake and rushed to her side. "Mom, please don't leave us," he begged. "I was blind. I should have protected you." Evelyn lifted her hand slightly and touched his cheek. "You protected me once, all your life," she said gently. "Now it's time for you to protect peace in your home." Daniel cried like a child. "I promise," he whispered. The unspoken goodbye. The machines around Evelyn began to beep differently. The nurse stepped in, her expression serious but kind. Sophia felt fear rush through her body. Evelyn sensed it. Looked at Sophia again. "Promise me something," she said weakly. Sophia nodded desperately. "Let silence replace kindness," Evelyn whispered. "Even one soft word can save a heart." Sophia pressed Evelyn's hand to her forehead. "I promise," she cried. A moment frozen in time. Evelyn's breathing slowed. Daniel held one hand. Sophia held the other. For the first time, there was no distance between them, only love. Evelyn looked peaceful. Her lips moved one last time. "Now, I feel at home." The machine let out a long, quiet sound, and the room fell silent. Not the cruel silence of neglect, but the sacred silence of loss. After the goodbye, Daniel collapsed to the floor. Sophia stood frozen, her heart shattered. She had found her voice, but too late to keep Evelyn with her, yet not too late to honor her. Part 4. Ending scene at the funeral. Sophia stood beside Daniel, holding his hand tightly. She whispered through tears. "She taught me how powerful a mother's heart is, and how dangerous silence can be." Daniel looked at his mother's grave. "I wish she knew," he said. Sophia replied softly. "She knew. That's why she forgave us." The wind passed gently over the grave, as if Evelyn had heard them. The house felt different, too quiet, too empty. After Evelyn Carter's passing, the walls no longer echoed with footsteps or soft prayers. Her chair by the window remained untouched. Her shawl still hung behind the door. Daniel walked through the house like a stranger. Every corner reminded him of what he failed to protect. Her daughter-in-law, who finally spoke, Sophia, became someone else after that day. She woke up early just like Evelyn used to. She cleaned the house slowly, respectfully. She cooked meals and placed an extra plate on the table, out of habit. Sometimes, she would sit by the window and talk. "I understand you now, Mum," she whispered into the silence. "I understand what it means to give without being asked." Her tears fell quietly. But this time her silence wasn't neglect, it was remembrance. A son's daily visit. Daniel visited his mother's grave every Sunday. He talked to her about work, about regrets, about how Sophia had changed. One day he said softly, "You were right, Mom, love grows when it's shared." The wind passed gently through the trees. Daniel closed his eyes. For the first time since her death, he felt peace instead of guilt. Sophia's promise to the world. Sophia started visiting the old age shelter. She listened to stories. She held hands. She spoke gently to those who felt forgotten. One caretaker asked her, "Why do you come every week?" Sophia replied with a trembling smile, "Because silence once broke a heart I can never replace." A letter never sent. One evening, Sophia wrote a letter. She never planned to send it. "Dear Mom, I didn't know how to love you when you were alive, but I carry your lessons every day. Your pain taught me compassion. Your silence taught me responsibility. I promise no one in my care will ever feel invisible again." She folded the letter and placed it near Evelyn's photograph. The final message. Years later, Sophia became a mother. She held her child close and whispered, "Kindness is never weakness. Silence is never safety." Daniel watched her with moist eyes. In that moment, he realized Evelyn hadn't left them. She had changed them. Final ending scene at Evelyn's grave. Sophia placed fresh flowers. She whispered, "You were my lesson. Before you were my loss." The camera pulls back. Soft music plays, and the screen fades with these words. Sometimes, silence hurts more than anger. But love, even late, can still heal the living.